Hey, I'm Drew, and this is the Drew Petersen Podcast, home to one chairlift ride, ski pole microphone, and real story at a time. This chairlift chat is with Sofia Jaramillo. Sofia is a brilliant Colombian-American photographer and director who's the mastermind behind A New Winter, a landmark photo project reimagining and re-envisioning the history of skiing and of snow sports. Sofia took her professional experience shooting for publications like National Geographic and commercial clients like Ford, along with her personal experience from growing up in Sun Valley, Idaho, and reimagined iconic photos from the history of Sun Valley, which is the first ski resort in the US, but instead with people of color. Her heritage itself shined through brilliantly in the work, and it was a joy to get to connect with her and hear from her directly about the power of art. Before we drop in, a quick note from this episode's sponsor. You know when you find that ski and everything's dialed and you think to yourself, nothing about this needs changing? Well, that was the QST line from Salomon. But guess what? The QST line got a full redesign this year. No, not because anything needed changing, but because Salomon knew that they could make it even better. They knew that they could make it more playful, more versatile, and more consistent across the board. Personally, I've been skiing the QST 106 for the past 8 years, ever since I joined Salomon. It's been one of my favorite skis, and this redesign made it even better. So if you're thinking about some new skis, click the link in the show notes, the newsletter, or on my website. I know it's an extra step, but clicking that link helps to support me, and it proves the value of this podcast to Salomon, and that makes it so that I can keep doing this whole thing. All right, let's raise the bar, keep your tips up, and drop in. Sofia, we are here at Sun Valley on closing day, and I want to talk to you about A New Winter. So I guess it's fitting that we're in Sun Valley because this is both the inspiration and the location for it. When did this idea first pop into your head?
Oh man, okay. Well, first off, thanks for being here.
That's too close.
Too close to you, okay.
I got it.
This idea started in early 2020. I was here in January of 2020 doing a commercial shoot, and I went to the Sun Valley Lodge, and I walked through the hallway there that has all these historic photos from the very beginning of skiing, and it just really stuck with me that out of the hundreds of images, there was only one image of a person of color. And from there, the idea started bubbling, and I was like, oh, how cool would it be to remake these? Yeah.
That's awesome. The first time that I went into the Sun Valley Lodge, I was struck by the number of photographs. It's literally lining every hallway. And I think it's really cool that you're reimagining and reinventing what that looks like, because Sun Valley is a place that has a lot of heritage in skiing and really celebrates that heritage. But by reframing it and creating literally, as your title implies, a new winter with people of color, you're reimagining what people see it as. And that's really special. So after seeing this through, like, you're getting this into galleries, you're getting a lot of media coverage for it. It's an outside magazine. What does it feel like to have it on that scale now?
Oh man, I'll keep this away from me. Get a little too close to it. It feels, you know what? It feels like really exciting and it's rewarding, but at the same time, it's like, I'm just getting started. Like, I want this to be in museums across the country. I'd love to take it to New York. We're going to have a show in LA at the end of May. Just super exciting. And so I'm just getting started. And the first place to start was sharing it with the community here and sharing it with like my larger outdoor community through some of the publications. But now I want to bring it to the cities, and I want more opportunities for Black and Brown people to see it. And just different audiences to like be invited to think about winter sports and the origin of winter sports and where we're at, where we're going, and like the people that are pushing it forward. Yeah.
It can also just be an example outside of skiing, outside of ski towns. Like, it's kind of like think local, act global. Like, It's just a microcosm that can create like cultural impact well outside of the sphere that you started it in. So when you grew up here in Idaho, and
Dude, you're so good at this. You're like,
This is I talk and I ski for a living, so this is the combining the two. But growing up here, what was it like growing up as a Colombian-American? And like, if you zoom out, like take away the photos in Sun Valley Lodge, like what was just your personal experience as a little girl here?
yeah. Well, first of all, I was so privileged to grow up here. Like, this is one of the most beautiful places, in my opinion, in the West. But at the same time, I definitely didn't feel like I fit in, and especially on the ski slopes. Especially felt like I needed to repress part of who I was, and I really don't have any memories of other people of color, other Latinos skiing besides my dad, and he went once and he was like, that's some white people shit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go again. So yeah, it was challenging. It wasn't until I left Idaho, and that's another point. It wasn't just Sun Valley, it was Idaho in general. I really felt like I couldn't express my Latin identity. There was like a lot of microaggressions towards Latinos, especially growing up here. And it wasn't until I left and I went to a city, I went to Seattle U in Seattle, that I was able to embrace and like celebrate that part of me.
I think it's amazing to see that evolution, but like that takes decades. And like this is, obviously completely different, but seeing the world through my own lens, like for me, like my experience was struggling with mental health in silence. And I felt like that made me different. It isolated me and made me separate from the community that I grew up in. And like, not that there's necessarily like anything negative or weak about that. It's like quite the opposite. There's something strong. There's something that like leads to my identity. But like your like heritage, your ethnicity, like, and your upbringing here is part of your identity. What does it feel like to have something that was so isolating and made you different now be celebrated by the same community?
I think that's been, can I hold it? Like here? Is this? I just never held a ski pole like this before. But I'm learning. So what does it feel like? It is really healing. And that was something I think all good art either comes from a place of deep, deep love or deep, deep pain. It's a way to express that in a healthy way. And I didn't know that about A New Winter until I was out shooting. And my director of lighting, the day before, we were scouting different locations. And at the end of the day, he said, Soph, like, do you realize all these locations have a very significant meaning to your childhood? Like, this is where you learn how to ski. This is where you spent time with your dad outdoors. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So it's been really healing, and especially that this community, Sun Valley Resort, my friends here have full-heartedly supported and just been there for A New Winter and helped make it happen too. Like, we had ski patrol digging pits the day before. We the roundhouse where you were, I showed up one day, there was no picnic tables. We really needed picnic tables there. And I was like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? We got a supermodel flying in tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Talk to marketing. Marketing's like, I don't know. There's just some heavy picnic tables. I don't know how to get them there. They're at the top. Overnight, the cat drivers drove them down to the lodge. And I was talking to the head of ski patrol, and she was like, Sophia, trust me, I got you. Show up and they'll be there. And they were. And moments like that, really meant a lot and show how far this place in Idaho has come. Like, there's always going to be problems, and there still are. And I'm by no means saying that there aren't, but there's a lot of people that want to support things like this, which is super heartwarming.
It's amazing. I think what really shines through in that for me is like the community rallied around you, and like the cultural change that you're creating is possible because of that community, but the community rallying for this has to come from you doing it, you committing, you like taking that step and being like, yeah, and like using like the like magic of this being where you grew up and the community of it to create that change. Earlier you told me that the feeling of getting it out there, getting it in these gallery showings, like, is very freeing to you personally. What do you mean by freeing?
Ooh, a new winter has given me a different way to express myself and my art that's not tied to capitalism. I mean, yeah, I'm selling the work, but I'm selling it to put it right back into the project and also make the money back that I put into it. It's not about selling a jacket, which is what we do a lot of, you know? And so it's nice to have something that is just meant to keep the fuel, the fire, and like my love for art going.
Thanks for doing that. It's really special to get to see and like get to meet you, get to learn who you are, and get to see it shine through in everything you do.
Dude,
So
I feel like
thanks for this.
Talk to you for like at least 5 lift rides. That was so short.
Yeah, but
you.
one lift ride's the rule, so now we gotta go skiing.
Yeah, we gotta go ski. Let's do it.
Thanks to Sofia for joining me for a chairlift chat. It was really special to get to connect with her on a personal level about such a massive project. My greatest takeaway from that conversation was that we create the change we want to see in the world, and to never underestimate the power of art, of our stories, and of our ideas, even when we can't see how far they might go. You have to see the photos from A New Winter, and I know that is the next thing that you are about to do. So go check out A New Winter and more of Sofia's work at her website, sofiajaramillo.com. In the time since we recorded that interview, A New Winter has made its way to New York City in a unique way, as installations in subway stations. And it's also on exhibition at the Boise Art Museum. And I'm psyched because I'm actually headed to Boise later this month, and I'm gonna get to see the exhibit in person. You can also follow Sofia on Instagram at Sofia_Jaramillo5, and I highly encourage signing up for her newsletter via her website. You can follow me and the show on Instagram at Drew Peterski, and sign up for the weekly podcast newsletter via Substack. Thanks to this episode's sponsor. You can always score any discounts from this episode's sponsor or any others wherever links live. And of course, all of that is linked in the show notes. That's it for this ride. Thanks for listening to the Drew Petersen podcast. Until next run, keep your tips up. Ski and enjoy, my friends.